We're just gonna go ahead and get started.
Baseline.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Sing it.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby.
Porch Podcast.
What?
Porch Podcast.
I heard you.
Porch Podcast.
Come on, E. Come on, E.
Porch Podcast. Freestyle Fanatic. I'm back. Influential is the illest. Y'all all know that. Right. Back to the frame, to the flyme. I don't even know what the flyme is. Just a line. Gotta keep the MC going. Yes, the C. E to the dash to the D-U-B. I got my big brother P. And let me slow it down viciously. Remember that used to be in all the verses back in the day? Viciously. Yeah, we just stopped playing. 94, you know what I'm saying. Come on, what? The Porch Podcast, come on, huh? The Porch Podcast, yeah. The Porch Podcast, come on, huh? It's the Porch Podcast. Let's go. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother, man.
P original, baby. Let's get it.
So P,
Yes, scissor.
how was your week?
Oh man, it ain't been bad. It ain't been bad, man. You know, the weather's still, hey, it's okay. Going out in the morning with a hoodie. By the end of the morning, going into the early afternoon, I'm kind of coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that funny spot. You know, my week's been going good, but it's that funny spot. You know, just a slight chill when I go to take my walk in the morning. Hasn't stopped me from doing what I do, though. My quote of the days and getting my little exercise in. So I'm good, bro. I'm good. How yours going?
Birthday just passed. Let's clap it up for that.
Let's talk about it.
Birthday just passed.
Let's talk about it.
Anytime you can celebrate a birthday, it's a blessing. Hey, anytime you can celebrate any day. But
Absolutely.
The birthday is monumental. You know what I mean?
Very much so. Very much so.
I also felt like I got fat again on the birthday weekend.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, fruit to do it. That's all right. That's
Bring me back.
Hey, man. The one thing about it, like you said before, the fact that you're here to celebrate another day and eat that bowl of fruit, man, is only possible, brother, if you have another day of life. So, hey, man,
Right.
Once again, I'm glad to hear you had a great birthday. I wish I could have been there, man. I know you had a few different events going on. But, it's so funny, man. As a parent, you know how it could be demanding, man. Your life all of a sudden at some point belongs to your children. And somewhere, if you're lucky, you get to live a little bit of, your own life.
Right.
So, I wasn't able to make it to, the two places that you had the celebrations at. But I'm glad to see, you know what I mean, through the power of, FaceTime that you had, you had a lot of love around you. So that's what's up, man. That's what's up. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, everybody, this is episode 94. Episode 94. We're going to clap it up one more time.
Absolutely. A lot going on, man.
A lot going on.
A lot going on, man.
We're getting closer to the NBA season, and
There you go.
it's already been some preseason antics.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk, man, this Draymond Green and Jordan Poole situation. People been talking heavy about it. A few different points, man. You got some people, even professional analysts. They were making different statements. I heard somebody say something as far as the person who allowed that video to get out should be fired. And I was like, are we really taking the position that the person that allowed that video footage to get out should be fired? Is that more of the issue than what actually took place in the video?
I think it's not. However, I understand.
Okay.
I understand. We all know the story of Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the eye. We would have never known that story if Michael Jackson and Steve Kerr ain't tell it.
Yeah. If who?
Michael Jordan and Steve Kerr.
Yeah. No, okay. Because the first time you said Michael Jackson and Steve
Yeah,
Kerr
cause
told.
they did the
That's it.
video. They
Yeah.
did the
Go
commercial at his
ahead.
crib.
Bury
Yeah,
yourself. Dig a
yeah.
hole. Dig a hole.
Nah, I ain't digging no
Dig a
hole.
hole. Dig
Nah,
a
he
hole.
still
Okay. Okay.
Raw nights I perform like Mike. Anyone, Mike Tyson, Jordan, Jackson, action, pack guns.
Right. I agree with you. If they don't tell a story,
We don't know.
we don't know. Right?
Now to
If
get
they don't tell a story,
fired,
we don't know.
nah, I think that's a little extreme because
Yeah.
we live in a
I
different age. But I understood what the person was, I guess, trying to say.
yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, what winds up happening is because everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think with the person, well, first off, I believe it might even been Richard Jefferson. If I'm wrong on that, hey, I don't know you, Rich, but pardon me. But I think it was Richard Jefferson, or I know is at the very least a former player, and I guess he felt like that because his feelings was things like that or similar happen all the time in those, in those practice settings, but it's behind closed doors and the media doesn't know anything about it and the world never sees it.
It would never happen to me, me behind closed. I'll tell you that. Everybody fucking know
Well,
about that
I
one.
mean, listen, I mean, it ain't even, I thought about it from the perspective, because I had this conversation with a few different people, bruh. And my thing was, I was talking to D about it. I said, listen, they wouldn't have had enough coaches in it. Oh, hold up,
Brother
fellas.
D, Brother D or cousin D?
Nah, now, brother D. You know
Okay,
what I
all right.
mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, ain't gonna be, listen, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the video or not. If you did, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, I don't have any audio to be able to support what was said to,
He hit him with the
make
boot
the
bop.
situation. Yeah, he definitely hit him. I don't know what was said to make it go to those extremes. But I also seen like I think it's Steven Jackson made a statement. He was saying something about like, basically in a nutshell, Draymond shouldn't have hit the your little homie. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be able to talk to him. You're supposed to be able to, what I mean, pull him to the side or go about it in a different way. Basically, that ain't the way that we deal with things. That ain't the way that you go about, taking care of business when it's any kind of disagreement or whatever.
Right.
But the reason why, I talk about it from the perspective of it being like a ho is, I'm a man first. I don't care if I'm an athlete. I don't care if, what I mean, whatever it is, an actor or, professional at whatever it is. I'm a man first. And no matter what was said, unless he was like knocked out sleep, ain't no just that's how you do that and that's the end of it. And then you really, if you look at the video, it don't really seem like people really intervene, bro. Like when you see that video, in my opinion, there were words that transpired between the two of them before he walked over and that happened. And it may have been somebody in there kind of just, hey man, you guys cool out. Hey man, y'all chill, man. It may have been somebody saying that. But on the video that I saw, it didn't seem like a whole lot of effort was being made to keep them separated from each other. Because he initially walked up to him, got in his face, and what did Jordan Poole do? He cleared him out. He made some space. He pushed him like anybody, or whether it's a man, woman, whoever. He pushed him, and then the next thing you know, the punches was thrown, or the punches, I forget, but
Shit wouldn't have been over that day. He would
no.
air. He would if he'd aired me that day. The next day, I'll tell you that
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I'm talking about
And
like
the
Amazon
winner
Prime.
is.
Yeah, I'm talking about Amazon Prime, man. If you Amazon Prime, if you ordered it within the next, 2 hours and 37 minutes, it'll be here by tomorrow. And that's exactly how that was situation with Eminem.
Sometimes they say you order the next 2 or 3 minutes and be here between 5 and 10.
That's what I'm saying. So it might have went that way. You understand what I'm saying? All I'm saying is we live in a time where, and I understand what you're saying. E. I mean, you understand that it should have been maybe the way that particular former player was saying kept in house. I don't think so. I think that we live in a time where things need to be brought to public display because they need to be addressed. And I think that that's part of the problem. It's too many secretive behind the scenes things that take place. And then when it becomes publicized, right? Then it becomes a different thing. Because it's only a matter of time before 2, 3 other people say that, Draymond he almost snuck me one time in practice, or we almost got into it. And then all of a sudden, Now the organization get looked upon, as being a cover up or being an organization where they
It, it
keep those things hidden.
it could be that way, but also publicizing it could also be how you gonna discipline him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes I understand what he means. It's not covering it up because just because it's not publicized doesn't mean that it shouldn't be addressed. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, what I'm basically saying is Draymond Green is a big deal for Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
With that being leaked that way, and the league could have a certain policies into play that man may have him not be able to play first 2 weeks of the season. So I'm just using that for an example.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now,
Right.
it doesn't mean that it's covered up if they don't know about it. I get it. Everybody don't need to know every fight and everything. All I'm saying is addressing everything you were saying
Mm-hmm.
as a man first. He would have got his shit cracked back. That would have happened.
Right.
No, it's not. Whether it's publicized or not, whether the world know I got him, I would have had to do that shit for me. Like
That's,
it
that's right.
it'd have been all types of splittage. But I still understand whether it was Richard Jefferson or Rip Hamilton or Richard Roundtree Shaft, whoever it was. You know what I mean? Whoever it was that made that statement. I get what they're saying. Doesn't mean it's the right answer. Doesn't mean it's the wrong answer. I just
Right.
understand what they're saying.
Right. I mean, because okay, Stephen A. Smith was on the Breakfast Club,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about, I guess the brother's name Udoka, the guy from the coach from the Boston Celtics,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about how basically by them doing it the way that they did, right, that they put it out there, even though it was a known, they said a known relationship, like it wasn't secretive or whatever. It was a known relationship, or it was something that was plain and simple. When they did it the way that they did it, in terms of exposing it, even if they decided that they weren't going to retain his services, what that just did was it made any other organization where he may have had an opportunity to possibly go and get employment if they don't retain his services. And they have to be very delicate on how they handle the situation, right?
Because of who the girl was.
Because of who the girl was, right? Now,
Yeah.
even though it's understandable that that was consensual, that relationship was consensual between them, right? I'm not
Right.
making it right. First and foremost, let me say that. But like Stephen A. Smith said that brother's not married. I'm not saying what he did was right, but he is not married.
Mm-hmm.
It was a consensual relationship. You turned around, and now the way that you're portraying it and you bringing it to the public light, now whatever actions they take against that situation, other places where he may possibly have been able to, if it was kept in house, just to add to what you were saying, if it was kept in house, it may have been able to go differently.
Right.
Now, on one hand, right, you have a player who makes a statement about it should have been kept in house when another player punched another player in the face. And on the other hand, you got an organization that publicly put out about a consensual relationship between two adults that may cause him, a conflict between
But
getting retainer services other
but did
places.
you but do you know who the female was?
I mean, nah, as
That's
far as you talking about the person he was having a relationship with?
yeah.
Nah, I guess it was somebody that was a staff member, somebody that worked there.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying to you to explain to you, bro. First of all, I just found out, the other day that it was two stories. The first person that they put out there, they made it seem like he was messing with the assistant coach, one of the female coaches. I never seen that. The original story that I always seen is who it was. That lady, the lady was married,
Mm-hmm.
but she was the CFO of the Boston Celtics' wife, the chief financial officer. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why that happened. So I'm not saying it's right, but of
Yeah.
course, bro, if somebody's wife, whether they together or not, and they happy no more, or they still love that person, and they getting the bone daddy from let's just add to it a black man, okay? Last name Udoko. So they look, the dude,
Right.
the dude
Wow.
probably like she got
Yeah.
that's Udoko match with
Right.
Mandingo.
Right. Might be a tough act to follow. No, I'm
That's
with
what
you.
I'm
I got
that's what I'm saying.
I
So
got
this is the guy that tells people how much they should pay people. You messed with
Okay.
his wife. I'm not saying I get everything y'all saying, but that's the reason why it happened. And Stephen ain't know
Right.
that.
Stephen, but here's what Stephen A. Okay, but you also got to take in consideration. Stephen A. said, now this might be the first one y'all heard about, but y'all know how long I've been doing journalism in sports. How many of them do you think I know that didn't come out,
Bruh,
and why? And how many of them didn't look like that guy?
I understand whether you want to make it a black-white thing or not, right? Address the elephant in the room. We could say it's that number one. But the dumbest shit you can do is mess with the wife of the dude that's paying people. Or the
I agree.
daughter of the team owner or something like. If I'm telling you, if it was just that lady that was the coach, if it was just her, we would have never heard of it.
So with
I'm
Phil
not saying
Jackson-
it's right. I'm just
Right,
saying
no.
how the world works.
No, I got you. So when Phil Jackson was messing with
Jeannie Buss.
Jeannie Buss,
Mm-hmm.
why was that not looked at the same way?
Because
Because he wasn't messing with the CFO's wife.
no, because Dr. Buss had no problem with it.
Right. So what I'm saying is this though. The point that Stephen A. was making was this.
No, the point I'm making before you say that, bro. The point that I'm making is the CFO obviously had a problem, whether he's with the lady again or not.
Right.
He
I
had
think
an
the
issue.
I think the issue with it was bigger than that. I think it also was attached to him being engaged to Nia Long, who has an image as well. I think that that's factored into the equation as well. The point that I was making in it between the two situations, you had a former player who talked about that they should have kept that situation. Whoever filmed that and leaked that should have been fired. These are the words. I'm not making it up. This is what the person said. Should have been fired.
I don't agree they should be fired.
Stephen A., when you listen to that interview on the Breakfast Club, talks about what transpired in that other situation. But they publicly did that, right? To which no one would have known any of that stuff took place. And what it does is it further jeopardizes any other possible employment if they let him go and they don't retain him.
They saying he
other
can't
places.
he won't be able to get a job anymore. I get that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So if you got
But-
a violation of messing with the CEO, which is more than just a
CFO.
moral thing, CFO, right, Chief Financial Officer, which
Mm-hmm.
is more than just a financial. I mean, a stipulation that's there in place just for coaches or whatever. If you got that in place because they said he violated one of the rules, like the rules not just
Fraternization.
being her, right? So if that's the case, then what's the violation for assault on another player of the team? That's a violation as well. But we're talking about handling it two different ways.
Because just because somebody is in the room with you with the camera, not understanding, not because I guarantee you this, it wasn't no CFO or CEO or nobody that leaked that Draymond video.
Nah.
It probably
It
was just it might have been the ball boy, might have been the
Right.
towel guy, the
So who
water
was sitting
man.
in there? Right. So whoever was sitting in there,
Yeah,
who was knowing that this was getting ready to happen, who was recording this getting ready to happen, who was showing that no one intervened, no one interfered with it. All that's on the
right,
thing.
right.
And they
I
sat
see it.
there and they recorded. Right. So when they turn around and they make the statement, and they ain't the only one. It wasn't just Richard
Right.
Jefferson, whoever that player was. It was other people. Oh, well, who was that?
Now
It's
here's
like, where's that mindset come from? That's different.
you're right, but here's the thing. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna give you my theory on it. They in there, they practicing, they training, they doing it, they already recording. Then because you could tell that first of all, practices are recorded. You can tell that practice, that video, came from a cell phone type video,
Yep.
not regular video.
Yep.
The moment they started beefing,
Yep.
World Star. That's how that happened. All right. Now, Udoko. I hear everything a person is saying because just like Stephen A. said what he said, Matt Barnes had made the statement saying he think that Boston had handled it wrong, right? when they thought it was this is when they all thought it was the assistant coach. When they found out it was the CFO wife, they was like, oh yeah, nah. Like it's bruh. I get what you're saying, cut and dry. It's a violation on both ends. But in the world that we live in, of course they're going to polarize the black man having sex with the white woman of the white man of the wife of the white man who pays the team. It's kind of like, hey man, you can mess with all of them over there, but don't mess with that one. And that's pretty much really what it is. It wasn't about it is about him not being able to get employment anywhere. It is about trying to hurt his image, even if it was consensual, because they're mad that the husband's mad that he can't get her back. Cause Udoko hit her with the Doko and drove her the fuck loco. Point blank, period.
That might be it.
Come on, man. Anytime that Peen Ween is involved, bruh, and somebody is really off that, first of all, we know she was blown away by it because she's right there in the face of her husband, ex-husband, whoever he is, she's still doing what she doing.
Right. Wow.
Let's keep it 100. Now, again, we know there were other affairs in the NBA. Right? But as a typical word would come out and say, let's just not bring up old shit, Stephen A. It's past already. That one. I understand what he's saying. And he's on the Breakfast Club and he's supposed to speak and he's supposed to do what you do. He's supposed to have your theory. You're supposed to have your own mind. But this is me speaking on the Porch Podcast of my own mind.
Right.
I'm not saying what Boston did was right, but let's not act like why we don't know why they did it. We know why they did it.
I think that's why. But that's what he was saying as well.
But I really believe if he really was with the assistant coach, which was a black woman, nobody wouldn't have gave a shit. Maybe it wouldn't even been talked about.
Yeah, maybe because, and I can see where that could come from because, like you said, what's the brother name? Matt Barnes and them. Like, they took a different approach.
And Steven Jackson.
They took a different approach. Now, once again, I think at the end of the day, the irony that comes out of it is that Stephen a person who has been, in that world for quite some time, pointed out something that was a known, right? Like me and you don't have to work in that environment. We know that. That happens in regular life, not just in the sports world, but in regular life.
Right.
So, I will say that at the end of the day, all of those things that you said, all of those factors and stuff like that, they all come in the equation together. I just think that when we get ready to have these opinions, and everybody's entitled to them, when we start trying to pick the parts that we want to say should be public and what shouldn't be public, let's think about it from a total perspective where, as crazy as it sounds, if we just simply took the time to look at it from the perspective not so much of what we think is right and what's wrong, but what actually took place, I think it'd be a lot different.
Right. I mean,
and that's just why I feel about it.
I mean, all of it was wrong. Both ends.
Yeah.
All of it was wrong. That's my opinion. And I'm with me being such a private person, I don't necessarily feel like it has to be public, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But it must be addressed. You see what I'm saying? You know, that's just how I feel. Because I'm gonna just keep it real. I really didn't give a damn about the Udoko and the lady situation.
Right.
Right. But it did hurt me to see Draymond hit Poole like that.
Yeah, man.
And they go that far because not just because they teammates, but y'all, this ain't even a game. Ain't anybody even lose nothing yet.
Well, that's what Stephen A was like saying, friendly fire. Like, how we gonna go to battle together when Big Bro done popped on me?
Right? Yeah, like that's the type. Because I will never forget. Because I could see the video, not just the fact that I got cracked like that. I could see the video. See, first of all, when you join a team, right? Mm-hmm. You already gotta go into the mentality of understanding that we got a band. We gotta become a band of brothers. See,
Yeah.
it ain't hard for us to connect and come back because for the simple fact we come from the same place.
Yeah.
The
I
same
agree.
two people. Because if anybody pays attention, people connect and relate. I mean, people connect by the way they relate.
That's right.
If you sit
That's
back
right.
and think about everybody that you call your homie that you really run with like that, y'all either went to school together, worked together, or grew up in the same neighborhood,
No
or
doubt.
did business somewhere and just connected and linked.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So
No
my
doubt.
point is of basically what I'm saying is that's what threw me up. Now, Udoko, listen, bro, and I'm not saying because you was dealing with Nia Long and all that, but sometimes you got to be a little smarter. I'm not saying that he didn't love this woman. He might not like this woman. If he did, then why are you engaged in Nia Long? Whatever. Okay, but if you love this woman or whatever, and this and that, be smart enough to wait to the right time to do this because you cannot tell me in the back of my mind. See, the word consensual doesn't mean everybody knew. It just means he didn't rape her.
Yeah. I mean,
That's all that means. See, that's the thing when people play those words and again the complexity of words. You got to pay attention. Consensual just means she was with it just like he was with it. But if this motherfucker finds out, we both in trouble.
I mean,
Now, because
yeah.
not because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there was no. She's not your wife. That's you, Stephen A. Words. He's not
Mm-hmm.
married. She's not your
He's
wife.
not been
Right?
engaged since 2015. Yep.
Right. Been engaged since 2015. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
7
what. I don't. Huh?
7 years. Go ahead.
7 years. I don't know why y'all two won't marry. And I'm not saying that. However, that's even makes it worse. I'm not saying it for Nia Long's sake. I'm saying you blowing your bag.
Yeah.
You messing up your pockets
Mm-hmm.
for a consensual physical relationship.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying. The only time people mess up the bag or do anything is other reasons. Like for example, I'm gonna ask you this simple question, bro.
Got you. What's that?
Before you retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who did you work for?
I work for the state of New Jersey.
Right. That's
You talking? Yeah.
that's the typical answer, and it's not a
Right.
wrong answer.
Nah.
But no, you
It's
worked
true.
for who you live with.
Great point. Very
That's
good
who you
point.
work for.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
work for yourself and your family. And that's the thing. I have to remind people that every day when I'm at my 9 to 5. Listen, you don't work for them. You work for you.
Well, you know what's funny? I meant, you know what? The way you worded it, which is the typical way, you
Right.
said before you retired,
Yeah.
who did you work for?
Who did you work for?
Right. And so because I didn't retire from my family, of course I'm
Right.
not going to associate that with that. But I got it. I
Right.
got your point. You're
But you
absolutely
never
right.
but
I
you
work for
never
the family.
stop working for your family and yourself.
Absolutely.
You never
Exactly.
stop.
No.
You got guess when you got promoted?
What's that?
When you got married.
Yeah.
Right?
No doubt. Yeah.
Guess when you got promoted again?
Yeah.
When you had your
175?
first child.
Yeah.
Then you got promoted again when you had your second child.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's who you work for.
Yeah. Great point.
That's really what it boils down to. That's who you work for. So these people with these mentalities, and we sit here all day and we keep sitting here and allowing stuff to really mess up the bag. You let's say he don't work for Nia Long. She got her own money. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
He worked for Udoko.
No doubt.
Udoko delivery services. Okay? Because he out here slinging pole. I'm just saying. Right? That's who he
You was
worked
doing
for.
so well. You was doing
Yeah.
so well, man.
I'm just saying. That's who he worked for. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I want to know is, did Boston fire him?
I didn't see anything that said that he
Okay.
fired.
All
I
right.
didn't.
But-
That don't mean he's not. I'm just
Yeah, I just say I didn't see any. That's what I'm asking. At the end of the day, though, with this whole situation where you pay attention and look at it, guess who ain't hurt? Her.
Oh no, not at all.
It's like a family that prays. Remember that movie by Tyler Perry?
Yeah.
With Sanaa Lathan? Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
blowing the top of the boss. Got popped. Next thing you know, that ain't even look like the project she lived in. She looked like she lived in the back of a grocery store or some shit at the end when he dropped a little money off.
Yeah. Now he wasn't fired. He's been suspended for the 2022-2023 season. So he's not
Right.
fired, but he has been suspended.
So suspension, is it paid? I'm not saying you got to do all that, but is it paid
No, no, no.
suspension? My
I'm getting
my point is, how you gonna make money, bro?
yeah. I mean, I'm like you said,
Off that twattage?
And you know what? The sad part about it is it's definitely more to it. You know what I mean? You don't know. It's so funny, man. You could turn around and find out, which I don't think will be the case. They could turn around and play that in so many different ways. For him to be suspended like that, even though it's a violation, to me that means one thing, that they understand that he's a good coach, right? I
Right.
believe that that's what they feel like. He's a good coach. Because I think if they were sauce, if the Celtics didn't do it, I don't think that you're suspending just for that. Now they're also smart enough to understand that they have to handle this in a very careful manner
Right.
because of the obvious situations with him being African American. They have to be careful on how they,
And this
you
is the
know,
NBA, so they
right,
respect that.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that that's where that's going with that. Like Stephen A. was trying to pretty much kind of let it be known that they could have totally handled this situation a lot more in house. I think personally, unfortunately for him, he subjected himself to this. Now he wasn't alone; he didn't act alone.
Mm-mm.
But in the same token, what you think they're gonna punish the CFO's wife? I don't think
Okay,
that.
okay,
It's gonna
but
be.
does she even have a role on the team?
I, I mean, I
That
mean,
that's like on life. I'm
I
the
don't think
pappy.
so.
We all
Right?
know. We all know if they really would have known that was can't get right son, they would have killed him.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
because of the time that we was in. I mean, they don't kill you. They don't just physically kill you nowadays. What do they do to black people, bruh? They kill their pockets.
yeah, yeah.
Meek broke that. That's what Meek Mills was talking about. That's why they kept wanting him to go to jail. They want to stop the money. Look at R. Kelly. They don't
Yeah.
even want him to get money in jail.
Well, I mean,
Think about it. Mute R. Kelly. I mean, it was mute R. Kelly. Okay, when they muted R. Kelly, that means he was no longer getting publishing.
yeah.
They
I'm
just
trying.
want they want to
I
stop
try
your
to think.
bag. Again, who do you work for?
Right. No, I get it. I get it. And unfortunately, because of his actions, that situation is going to be compromised for a year.
For a year.
Yep. Well, so, you know, switching lanes, man. Switching lanes for a second. You know, just touching on the sports world one more time. I don't know if you saw the game last night. I'm sorry, not last night. If you saw the game on Monday night,
Hmm.
Chiefs and the Raiders.
I didn't see it, but I did see it in the news about Devontae
Devontae
Adams.
Adams
Yeah.
pushing that cameraman down. So that was a moment of frustration based on what he was saying. I think what we got to remember is nobody's perfect and these guys are human. I'm not making
Right.
any excuses for that. But I watch how things are publicized. I watch how things are scrutinized differently. I don't know if you saw that video. He cleared my man out. He cleared him out, never stopped. It wasn't no he bumped into him by mistake. Devontae tried to play it off. He did. He tried to be like, somebody ran across. I didn't see him, and I just, now when you look at the video, and I keep trying to say to people all the time, I don't know him personally, but we live in a technology world. A lot of things that we think that don't nobody ever see, people see.
Hmm.
And we got to understand
Hmm.
that this comes along, like we talking about protecting the bag and all of these different things. This scrutiny or this, being in the public eye comes along with it. It's
Right.
part of the deal.
Right.
It's a part of the deal. And that works not only in that world, in the sports world, in entertainment. You don't believe me? Start doing something major in your life. Start making some adjustments in your life where you're getting different promotions or different advancements and things of that nature. And watch how much you become, in the public eye. Watch. I don't care if you're running for politics. I don't care if you know what I mean? Whatever you're doing. All you got to do is step outside of the realm of what normalcy is, and go into the realm of wanting to be bigger, and you're going to wind up in that public eye. And you got to realize that when you're in that space, you can't move the way you used to move before You weren't in that space.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to bring up that situation about Devontae Adams. You know, hey man, listen. I hope that the rest of the people who are watching those videos or seeing those things, man, be smart, man. Protect the bag. Don't let your emotions go crazy. They'll take a video and show that one about Devontae Adams pushing the cameraman, but then they'll turn around and they'll show Tom Brady on the sideline throwing stuff or swole or whatever, cussing the joker smooth out. We don't know what he said.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But at
Shut
the
the
end of the
fuck.
day,
That's what they.
good chance. Good
Yeah.
chance.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in the arena of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got to be smart enough to be able to protect the bag. Hey, listen, before I get, we get too much further into this episode, man, I want to talk to y'all about a company, man, full service event planning company that can take care of all of your event planning needs. I ain't even got to stretch it out no more. Let them know who it is, bro. Look, check it out. Let's get that stress off your plate. All right? Got that big event coming up, and you don't want to have to do all the work. I got a company for you, full service event company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. That's www.fncevents.com. A full service event planning company. Take all the stress off your head, kick back and enjoy the party. Once again, that's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there, get that party booked, and get it done. Back to the show.
A full service event planning company. I always laugh how you said that. FNC events, man. Front and center events, man.
Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff, man, going on in this world, man. I don't know. E, do you know Charleston White is, bro?
Nah. I know
Charleston.
I knew
What
Charlie
do you?
Dog that
Yeah.
went to high
Okay.
with you, became an officer. I don't know Charleston White though.
Yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Charleston White, man, is a guy, man, that I've seen on a bunch of different videos on YouTube. I mean, he shares his opinions about things. I don't know him personally, obviously. Um, he's been in the public eye for a multitude of different reasons.
Mhm.
Um, I bring him up, bro, and the reason why I asked is because apparently he's offered out, Ti. He wants to box him. He's saying a fight challenge. He wants to fight rapper Ti in a boxing match, and he wants Steve Harvey to ref it.
Who is
Now,
Charleston White, man?
Charles, you gotta look him up, man. Y'all gotta anybody who knows, you know what I mean. Like I said, you gotta look him up. He's always on different versions, social media, is on YouTube. He's different places. Check him out. He's always sharing his opinions about whatever he feels about certain things. All I know is as per TMZ, he has offered out Ti a fight challenge, and he wants you know comedian Steve Harvey to referee the fight. I don't know what that's about, bruh. But all I can say is this
Oh,
is the
Charleston
world.
White. I know who you talking about.
Okay?
Yeah, I know who you
Okay?
talking about now.
I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on in that situation. However, it's just proof to let you know, bruh, that everybody who's in social media, in the social media world,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they don't all have it figured out. And I'm not going to say nothing negative about the brothers because I don't know them personally.
Right.
But, they both have, or they all, and I'm not even going to say nothing about the T.I. part of it or the Steve Harvey part of the situation because those people are totally established in you know, their own different things that they deal with in entertainment.
Right.
But what is it, man? What is it? Like social media has become a springboard and an opportunity for whether it makes sense or not for it to be a public highway to put these things out there. And it has really, really changed, you know, I guess just the reality of life. I think it had really changed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think, man? I mean, like, how does this even become a thing?
People want fame so bad. They just do anything for it, bro. You know what I mean? That's why it's often the question, what do you want, fame or fortune? Um,
Right. Right.
Fortune is gonna always be the answer for me because you can't leave fame.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
you could put fortune, like, let's just be honest, like, you know, Jeff and Marcus will never be as famous as Michael. I'm
Yeah.
just,
No, I
it's
mean, no, you're making a point. You're
yeah,
making a
like
point. You're making a point.
but he can leave money for them. He can leave that fortune for them to be able to create their own legacy and do what they do. Okay, listen. Let's just be it, the most popular Bush is always going to be GW, right? Ain't that
Hmm. Hmm.
that's Junior? Yeah, he's always going to be more popular than his dad and his brother. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
It's but
It's a
that
fundamental fact.
yeah, but that fortune was
Right.
started from Pop,
Right.
and he left it. That's what I'm saying. So some people, but nowadays fame leads you to fortune, but not necessarily. It still doesn't matter because he may not see it. I seen Charles when he did the little video with what's my boy man, Desi. He did one with him.
With Desi Banks?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
Nah.
Yeah, he did a video with Desi Banks. He walked. He came out. Desi come out the store like, hey, what's up with you, man? Like you know what I mean? You see like you be on some bullshit. It's like something he was. It's on it. Go to Desi Banks page. You'll see it. So it's been out for a couple weeks now, man. You know what I mean? So he
Yeah,
did a
man.
video with
I,
him.
I I think that we're of a time, man, where because social media is so easily, accessible. I don't think that people, and I'm saying this not to undermine anybody's talent or ability, but I think to get noticed or to be seen, or whether it's good reasons, bad reasons, you got another hidden agenda, you know, it's as simple as you creating a page or a channel and just start putting stuff up.
I just think he wants to be Kanye.
Maybe.
You know, because if you sit and think about it, the stuff that we talk about, we say Kanye crazy, be talking crazy stuff and all that. Yeah, I hear all that. But at the end of the day, Kanye didn't become famous for running his mouth. He came famous before, for the culture of hip hop
Right.
and being a musical genius.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where that came from. So,
How you feel about the White Lives Matter T-shirt?
well, we talked about that last episode. Like I said, I think Kanye and I explained this after that episode. I explained to people that we just gotta wait to see what he. I told you three things that stand out that I think Kanye why he did it. Number one, he knew he was gonna talk about it. Like I said, he knew he was
Mm-hmm.
gonna talk about it. He knew we all, especially black folks.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, the obvious. His kids are white, so in his
Okay.
world, white lives do matter.
Yeah. Wow. Good point. All right.
Like
All right.
I'm just saying, Kim's white.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So what's her
Yeah.
name? North, and what's the other one? Forgot the other
Um.
kid.
That's a
Nope.
shame, man. That's a
Yeah,
shame.
that's
And it's
not a
not
shame.
because I don't think they matter. It's just I don't remember it.
Right, well, bro. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that.
That's why
Re-
Northwest or something like that.
Hey,
Or
you remember Northwest? Okay, you don't remember another one? Okay, you know Blue Ivy. What's the twins' name? So
sorry.
that's just how it goes sometimes, bro.
Sorry. Yeah, I
You know
get
what I
it.
mean?
I get it. No,
That's
you're
all.
absolutely right.
Yeah, that's all I'm
Absolutely
saying. Like
right.
you're just
You're
not gonna
absolutely
know
right.
them. But however, North is half white. Let's just use that. Let's just use North. And
True.
then again, the reports of the Black Lives Matter movement, a lot of people that were in charge of it and stuff like that, they took that money and they did a lot of little funny things with it, man. Bought
Yeah.
themselves mansions, cars. So Kanye's the type of person that's gonna pull your coattail. Well, obviously white lives matter too, bitch, because look, I'm gonna start my own movement. My kids white. I'm trying to get the money so I can do what they did. Hey, you never know, man.
You
But
don't.
either way, he's gonna be him.
See, my thing is with that situation, you can't make a person a selective genius.
Uh-uh.
Because I've heard the title genius be used for him in terms of his ability to rap and to be able to make beats and do all of those things and be a musical genius. You can't pick what parts that's going to define me as a genius. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like you can't say Einstein is a genius, but if he has an opinion about a situation like we talking about, like Kanye has on certain situations like this, oh well, he shot out when it come to that. Like you can't do that. Like how do you
Mm-hmm.
do that? You can't pick the parts in me that's going to be, a mind blowing, what I mean, super thinking, smart, outside of the box, person. And then when I share my opinions about it, then you turn around and be like, well, I don't know about that. I think something wrong with it. He might be a little off. I just don't think that that's. I don't think that we should be able. Now I ain't gonna take that back. People can do what they want to do. I think the selective feeling about, what he is or how he lives his life. You can't appreciate his music, but then turn around and think something's wrong with him when he's speaking to you about something. And you just made an excellent point. His children are half of of that particular race.
Mm-hmm.
So who not going? I don't care what father it is. Who not going to make a statement similar
Because
situation
they
like that?
matter to him.
If that's that, because they
They
do
matter
matter.
to him. Their mother mattered to him. Their grandmother mattered to him. Like
Right.
that's like they matter to him.
It's a good point.
You
Very
know what I
good
mean?
point.
So,
Very good
and,
point.
and another thing that I explained this to somebody the other day, I said, you know, Kanye in their own different way, the whole game has focused on one person's strategy, because when that person used that strategy, it took them to the next level. Who you think I'm talking about in hip hop? And
They use the same what? You same similar
a
kind of strategies?
a certain person was this way, just wild shit, doing all they doing, and became rich. You
I would
know
say 50.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, 50.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
you
not good
can't
point.
but you can't be 50 that got shot 9 times if you didn't get shot 9 times.
Yeah.
I mean, the average person, if a person gets shot 9 times, right, and don't
Mm-hmm.
die, they're gonna do one or two things. They're gonna grow up and be quiet, or they gonna come up and talk heavy shit.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And
Speaking of that, yeah, speaking of
what?
that, he just shouted out the brother Brian Robinson that played for the Commanders,
Yeah,
who just played in his first game this past Sunday
the one
after
that
being
got shot.
shot. Yeah, what he got shot 6 times?
That's what I'm saying.
Like how some weeks ago? I think
Yeah,
somewhere
I
around about.
remember they robbed him.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
shot him in his car.
yeah.
My point is, I said 50 did that, and we tuned in and we watched it. So
No, you're
every
right.
time Kanye do some wild shit, if I'd have turned around right now and said to you, "Oh, I don't know nothing about that Kanye White Lives Matter T-shirt," in his own mind, Kanye West would have been like, "How the fuck he don't know about it?" Because everybody else could know, but he wants everybody to know.
Right.
That's why he does what he does. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, bro, when he had that show in Atlanta, and was leaking the album so you could hear it was, man, this dude turned around, had a listening party, right? Artists have listening parties for their album.
Mm-hmm.
This dude had a listening party for his album, and the listening party was at the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's a listening party.
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta that night too. I didn't go there, but I was in Atlanta that night. So my point is, this is his strategy of what he do. Now you go back to 50. I remember 50 being on a panel somewhere, and he made this quote. He said, "Listen, people always get on us about our music and how our music supposed to be influencing people. We got a negative influence and all this stuff. But one of the biggest influences is the movie Scarface.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And
No doubt.
nobody ever says anything about that. So, film, you could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But in music, you can't. Right?
Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying.
Right? But what did 50 do when he recognized that? He went into film.
Nah, it's smart.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, smart.
If you look at the same people he was beefing with, other than Ja Rule, Jay-Z, you know what I mean? On Get Rich or Die, he said, I could go with Nas and Jigga, both for the throne. He got back cool with Nas. He was always cool with Nas. Jay-Z did. He does all that. He did all that to get their attention, then to lock in.
Yeah.
Hell,
Yeah.
Kanye did the maggot, Make America Great Again, wore the hat. Guy we was just talking about, T.I., him and T.I. had a song, was a conversation about the president. Guess what they knew? Everybody was going to listen.
Oh yeah.
It's marketing.
Right. Oh yeah. Nah, I think it's smart. Yeah, I think it's behind the scenes people. When he was shot twice in his leg 6 weeks ago. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Twice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, nah, I got you. I mean, like you said, bro, I think that there are some people who understand how to utilize that space. You know, they see the long game. Pause. You know what I'm saying? They see how to be able to put things in place. You know, I'm not saying you eat, but I'm just saying, and somebody might take that out of context. So I just want to make sure I explain that. So, but you know, they get it. They get the bigger picture situation, and they learn how to use the mindset of the people that it's feeding to be able to, navigate the narrative that they really want to push.
Right.
And you can say what you want to say, but everybody knows the limitations before they go too far. That's how you know the people who are true masters of using that social media element. They
Right.
know where the line is. They know where the line is. They know how to play all around it. And those who do something, hence, your Devontae Adams with that situation with the cameraman and other people that we talked about,
Right.
they didn't know it because I don't believe that they use it in the same sense or as a vice to be able to really push a particular agenda or be able to promote, whatever they're actually truly trying to promote.
Right.
So, I give guys, like I said, you can't call Kanye a genius for his musical talents and
Well,
abilities.
I
And then
agree
he
with
takes
you,
that
but
same thing that he built and
right.
turn around and be like something's wrong with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, like we said, people can say what they want, but I understand what you're saying. And I agree with you. What you're saying. I don't judge the man. Because I honestly feel like that. It's marketing. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
marketing for him.
It's something that's going to follow it or something
Right.
else is going on
Yeah.
while that's taking place.
Yeah. It's not. It's
So,
not. It's not a. It's not a. It's not an ideal strategy for myself.
no,
However,
no.
not being ideal is what gets people attention. See what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, you got it. We doing would you rather's or this or that this week?
I got you, bro. I'm ready. Would you rather? I'm ready for you.
Okay, we going. Welcome to another episode of Would You Rather. Would you rather me continue to go on with the intro, or would you rather us start it? Let's go.
Welcome to another week of Would You Rather, where I ask you a series of questions and eventually I get an answer. I cannot protect y'all, and I cannot promise y'all that it won't be a little mind blowing. All right, we'll get right into something. Would you rather be in jail for a year or lose a year of your life? I don't see how they're different personally, but
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna just take a sip because that's bullshit.
Okay. Would you rather
Water.
have I would you have rather have one real get out of jail free card or a key that opens any door?
Now, when you say a key that opens any door, is it a metaphoric door?
Great question. I'm going to say to make it even uh yes.
The key.
Yes.
The key.
Yes, because clearly like, the card isn't going to be one you walk in like Monopoly
Mhm.
and give to the judge. Hey, man, I just want to show up and give you that.
Right.
Nah, so it's going to be metaphorically. Yep. All
Yeah,
right,
the
so the
key.
key. Okay. Because you know why? And in my opinion, just answering that question myself, I agree with you. The key, because of the fact that one requires you to just simply just respect and obey the laws.
Yeah.
Like if I ain't went to knock on wood, obviously, if I ain't been to jail at this point in my life, I know
I ain't planning on going.
what I shouldn't be doing. Right.
Right. So
So I agree with
my
you.
thing is, if it was a get out of jail free card, I'm robbing the shit out of the biggest bank, so I can. Here's my card. I got to keep the
That's what I'm
money.
saying. Now, what happens in the possibility of that you get that card, but if you get if you get shot and they blow all the blow the bones out your body, that's that can be right because you just think I'm running in there with that get out of free jail card and the people do their job that day and you don't make it out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All right, so it's kind of different. Would you rather know the history of every object you've ever touched, or be able to speak to animals?
You and these animals talking.
It's not me.
Yeah.
Please understand
Oh,
something.
no,
Let me
Doctor
clear this up
Doolittle.
for the people.
Nah, no,
It's
it's
not
okay. You
me.
don't have to. If it's
'Cause
not you, you don't have to clear it
I
up.
don't
You know
even
you.
think from the perspective of talking to an animal. You, on the other hand, you survived 20 plus years of doing a job that puts you actually in the field where you ran across a whole lot of animals and you didn't need to have to talk to him at that point. Or you did talk to him and got out of it. So,
Um, you said animals or what? Because we got.
okay, went a little too much for you. Oh, or would you like to know the history of every object you ever touched?
I like the history. I'll go with the history.
Okay. Okay. Would you rather have all traffic lights you approach be green or never have to stand in a line again?
Oh, I don't want to have to stand in line again. I ain't worried about the green light.
Yeah, I can wait for my turn.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? In the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that. You need that red light.
Bruh, you know what? Let me be honest with y'all, man. It's been times where I've been in the car and I might be trying to eat a little something, and I want the light to turn red, and I got to reach down my phone to slid down onto the floor. I need a red light. And what happened? I'm hitting them like clockwork, baby. Everything's great.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. Ain't nothing like a good red light every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Would you rather spend the rest of your life with a sailboat as your home or RV as your home?
RV, man. You know I ain't.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. And all right. Let me see something. Yeah, okay. Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your own future or 10 minutes into the future of anyone but yourself?
I don't want to see nobody's future or my own. Let me just live it, man. You know, I watched Final Destination. Because if I see some ill shit, I'm going to try to alter it, bro.
Got you.
Yes, I don't want to see nobody's.
I understand. Would you rather have an easy job working for someone else or work for yourself but work incredibly hard?
For myself and hard.
Okay.
As long as the job gets done, I'm not worried about it being hard.
Yeah. And what's difficult, right? Because we're going to take that out of there. Hard and all of that, incredibly hard and all that. What's difficult? What do we call difficult? Is it difficult because of the fact that it requires my effort to make sure it happens? Is that's what make it difficult? Because the easy job, all I got to do is show up and they're going to pay me and do that. I mean, I agree with you if that's the case. I'd rather do the thing that at this stage in my life that requires my effort and energy. And if that's what's considered to be hard, then that's definitely more difficult. That's the way that I'm going to go about that.
Right.
I agree with you. Okay. Would you rather be the first person to explore a planet or be the inventor of a drug that cures a deadly disease?
Inventor of the drug.
Okay. It's everybody don't feel the same, but I agree. I definitely would rather do that. And I'm be honest with you. Who's to say that being the first on the planet is the
smartest thing?
I might be the first. Yeah, I might be the first and the last. You know what I mean? Okay. Would you rather go back to age 5 with everything that you know now, or know now everything your future self will learn? I know you don't want to. You'd rather go back to being 5 because I just know you, bro. You don't want to look into the future, like you said earlier. I'm not even gonna keep asking you about the animals, man. You know what I mean? Okay. Ooh, okay. Would you rather have unlimited international first class tickets or have to pay for food or never have to pay for food at a restaurant again?
Oh, I don't want to have to pay for food.
Yeah.
Because that means I ain't got to cook no more.
That's true.
I can say, babe, what we want? Go pick up, because it didn't say how much food. Go pick up the whole dinner for the house. We eat whatever we want every day, and we ain't got to cook.
If it's for free, I'm going to make it work anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
That is a little bit enticing, though.
Yeah.
International flights, you know what I mean?
I ain't worried about no first class international flight. I'm going every day. I got to eat every day.
I don't know. I think that applies to someone who travels internationally a lot. Honestly speaking, though, if you are that way, you probably can afford to go out and do whatever you're going to do.
If you are that way, you sell power.
That's good.
That's what it is, okay? I'm just telling you.
It doesn't mean that. It doesn't. Like, why would you? Would you rather be an average person in the present or a king of a large country 2,500 years ago.
What?
Right. We'll skip it. It's all right. Would you rather be able to dodge anything no matter how fast it's moving? Right? You be able to dodge anything no matter how fast it's moving, or be able to ask any three questions and have them answered accurately.
Any three questions? Because now it's just key.
Okay. I want to dodge anything, man. I want to be able to dodge.
Yeah, because you're
I don't-
Daredevil.
Nah, it ain't about.
You know what I mean? So
It's not about that. It's not about that. First and foremost, I can't think of anybody that I want to ask three questions to. I think that, like, I
listen,
think that I
man.
would have to be in the situation, but I can't think of anybody that I would want to ask three questions to right now.
This has been another episode of Would You Rather, because P is on some bullshit right now.
Let me give you one more,
Dodging.
man, and then we're going to get up out of here. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Would you rather be forced to dance every time you heard music, or be forced to sing along to any song you heard?
I do them both already, so it don't matter which one you give me there.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Get on out of there.
That was another episode of Would You Rather. Let's get back to the show. All right, let's go. Listen, y'all, this has been episode 94. 94 of the Porch Podcast. Let's clap it up right there. Do remember, we want to thank y'all for being with us for 94 straight episodes.
Absolutely.
You can catch us on any of your podcast streaming sites: Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Red Circle, and many more. And if you want to see our handsome faces, you can watch us on YouTube at The Porch Podcast. That's DAPORCH Podcast. Yes.
Absolutely. As we say each and every week, tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Listen, man, definitely leave them comments, y'all. We love talking to y'all. We get a kick out of it. We get a kick out of it. Like he said, man, you got a lot of options to catch us, and we appreciate it. Once again, I just want to say another shout out to all of those who have been supporting the other channel that me and my family have, the Raining Rainies on the Rise. It has been doing well. Our little vacation vlogs and all that kind of stuff. We just want to let y'all know we appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and subscribe on that as well. And our social media Instagram account. That's Raining Rainies on the Rise. Appreciate you guys, as we say each and every week, man. This has been, like he said, episode number 94. Look forward to seeing y'all next week, baby. Y'all be good, man.
All right.
All right. All right. Peace.
Peace.